Hey guys, back at you with another episode from Redneck JDM. Today we're doing a little bit of an update for y'all on the Raptor 660 and a small install video. Got the big pile of parts sitting right behind me here. We got everything from a front bumper, new bars, we got a new CP piston, new Lone Star axle, we got skid plates, we got a hot cam. Got everything for this quad. I think we're about $10,000 into this build right now. So if you guys could please like, share, comment, and subscribe, that would be a huge help to myself, bringing you guys future videos just like this one. Today we'll be installing some 6-piston Pro Run calipers, and then we'll also be pairing those up with some Streamline blade brake rotors. So should have some really nice stopping power after today. Sitting over here, we also got some new rims and tires that we'll be throwing on today. They're a little bit dusty. They've been sitting in the upstairs in the corner of the shop for a couple weeks collecting dust, waiting for me to find time to do this. But today is the day. So without further ado, guys, we'll go ahead and get to the install. So guys, we're back down in the shop here now, taking a look at what we got going on out of the box. First off, here's our beautiful Pro Run Concepts 6-piston brake calipers. I do have to say that these are just very well made. Excellent quality. No complaints whatsoever on these. They do have the brake pads already installed in there, so they're just a drop-in at that point. So yeah, really nice setup by Pro Run. So shout out to those guys out there in France. I did buy them off eBay. You can buy them directly off their site. I just bought them off eBay because they had a 15% off discount on ATV parts, so it actually worked out to be cheaper at that point in time to order it off eBay, but I think generally speaking it is cheaper to order it straight from Pro Run. And then next up we have our Streamline blade brake rotors. These are made in the United States. I did lots of research into which would be the best rotors to run, and a lot of people were saying these Streamlines, and they were on for a really good price. So I went and picked up 3 of those, 2 for the front and 1 for the rear. They have some really nice slits in them just to help with brake cooling. So yeah, really excited to get this combo up and running. We did take off our old brake rotor already. I just wanted to make sure that nothing was going to be seized up, and test fit everything just to make sure that we are not going to run into any issues during our install. Everything came apart super nicely. There wasn't anything seized, and everything seemed to test fit quite nicely as well. The only thing I found during the test fit is that these brake dust covers are not going to work anymore. These calipers are just a little bit too wide to work with the brake dust covers, so that's not the biggest worry in the world, though. We'll just have to remove those. The only thing I have left to add, guys, is this is our new brake line bolt, just to secure our brake lines to our calipers. We've got our 2 little washers there as well. Those are only single-use washers, so if you're ever taking them off, I would recommend getting new ones. So yeah, that is everything to cover here, guys. Let's go ahead and get the install done. Okay, guys, so we got our beautiful new rotors on our hub. So we will go ahead and slap this on. Pretty easy, just slide it on over the hole. Spins freely, take this washer, shove that on there. Take this castle nut, throw that on here like so. Get that nice and tight. Little ugga-dugga doesn't hurt. Take this pin, the long side facing forwards. Sometimes these can be lots of fun to get through. Oh, maker. There we go. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky to pull back through, get them lined up properly, but looks like we got her done. Spin this. There we go. Grab our beautiful Pro Run Concepts caliper, and we're just going to shove this on like so. They go this way. Slide that over top of the rotor. And throw our bolts back in. Sometimes they're a little tricky to get the first one lined up. There we go. Second one goes in much easier once you got the first one lined up. Tighten these couple bolts up here. Nice and snug. There we go, nice and firm. Then we're going to take our little brake line bolt, pop one of those off, shove it through like so, and just slide this on here. There we go. There we go. Nice and snug. Go ahead and hold that up. Hold this brake line up in the right position. There, right about there. Perfect. All ready to roar. Everything is spinning nice. All good to go. So guys, before we put the wheels back on, I figured I would just take you guys around the quad and look at our beautiful new brake setup. Everything bolted up really nicely. Didn't run into any issues whatsoever. Kind of confused me a little bit when I installed them at first, because generally speaking, if you're going to install, let's say, a Brembo brake kit on a car, you would have the badging on this side so you could still see it through the wheel. But because you can't see anything on this side of the wheel on this quad, ProRun decided cleverly to put their badging on this side so you could still flex your super cool brake system. We'll take a look at the other side here. Looking nice. I did go ahead and throw these Alba clamps and brake lines and plus 2 A-arms on off camera. It just really wasn't worth recording. It was a giant disaster from the get-go. When the A-arms showed up, I didn't realize that they didn't come with replacement tie rod ends, and I blew the tie rod ends up trying to get everything apart, and then trying to track down a new set that wasn't made in China was a bit of a task of its own. So by the time I got everything back together and everything sorted, it was a couple months and just a lot of failures. So I don't think you guys would have wanted to sit around for hours watching me fail trying to figure out how to put these A-arms on and source the right parts. So just really wasn't worth it. But everything turned out quite nicely now that we got everything back together. And we can go ahead and throw the wheels on now. So guys, we're all finished up the install. Everything's looking absolutely fire. New rims and tires look pretty sweet, if you ask me. Got a lot more ground clearance now, which is something I was kind of concerned about with this quad, just doing the ditch bagging that I do if I come up on anything that I'm not going to be ripping the rear swing arm apart or the chain or anything like that. So much happier with that ground clearance. I decided to go with the Kenda Havocs. There was really the only tire that I could find in the sizes that I wanted, and it was for one of the better prices too. And they're not made in China, which I was pretty happy about. These are made in Taiwan, I do believe. So yeah, quite a bit of meat on those bones right there. Got some really nice lugs. And these are the fronts. We went with 23/7/10s up front, and we went with a 22/11/9 in the rear, so it's up a couple sizes. This is what I was talking about earlier with the calipers, that the writing's on the opposite side so you can still see it when everything's put together, which is kind of cool. I do have to say I'm pretty impressed. I did take the front bumper off just to help get some more clearance when I was putting the A-arms on, and it did help. But yeah guys, super happy with how it turned out. Thank you so much for staying tuned, guys. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we will be back in the next few days with another update.